Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Whatever time it is when you hear this message, I pray that you're poised to receive, to accept, and to respond to words of wisdom. Ashem. People who've been exposed to the diaspora traditions put an overemphasis on Orisha and not enough emphasis on Ori. And so we come away with this really entrenched notion that Orisha is like a zodiac sign, in the sense that I am a child of Obatala, I am a child of Ogun, I am a child of Yemoja, and as a result, I exhibit and demonstrate these personality traits. I have these habits. I tend toward these proclivities. And that is not accurate. It's not accurate. Orisha does not govern your identity. Orisha does not determine your identity. Orisha does not determine your personality. It doesn't. Orisha is there to support and enable the fulfillment of your destiny. Even Oromila, you go get initiated to Ifa and you have your Odu. That Odu doesn't define your identity. That Odu outlines your fate. This is really, fundamental to all of my teachings, and it takes people a long time to grasp it, because the overwhelming majority of the conversation in the broader community keeps reinforcing this idea that you need to be obsessed with your Orisha. You need to be obsessed with your Odu. And when you get those bits of information and you keep putting them together and you keep obsessing over them, then you're going to crack the code to the fulfillment of your destiny, the ability to achieve happiness, and solve that age-old question of who am I, why am I here, and what does all of this mean? Orisha can help you. Ifa can help you. They will. But they're going to help you better if you understand what their purpose is and where they fit into the broader fabric of life, of existence, consciousness, and being. Okay? So if you over-identify with your Orisha, you're always going to be confused. If you over-identify with your Odu, you're always going to be confused, because you're not aware of the real I. This is why I like to repeat again and again and again for my students. You've heard me say this 100 times. You're going to hear me say it 100 times more. If you hang out long enough, you'll hear me say it 1,000 times more. You are not your thoughts. You are not your emotions. You are not your words. You are not your actions. You are not your habits. You are not your behavior. You are the one who chooses your thoughts. You choose your emotions. You choose your words. You choose your actions. You choose your habits. You choose your behavior. The real you is the chooser. So that requires you to always put yourself at the center of every choice and say, who is the I? Who is the one that's choosing this and that? Who is the one that's choosing to be this way and choosing to be that way? It's a perpetual question that you've got to keep coming back to. And that's the only way that you're going to get fully introduced to who you are. All right. Now, there are patterns in your identity. There are patterns that do make up the trends in your decision making. There are patterns that have a huge influence and impact on your emotional constitution. That is true. That's where we get to archetypes. That's where we get to archetypes. Archetypes are the patterns and the motifs that represent the constellation of your own unconscious mind. Your unconscious mind, everything that makes you you, is really under the surface. It's the thing that brought you into the world. In the Yoruba world, the Yoruba concept, This is what we might call ayajo. Ayajo. Ayajo are words. They're special words that are invocations that signify the original manifestation of a thing. If you know the ayajo, we believe you can call that thing into existence. Okay, you can call that thing into existence. It harkens back to in the Ajafon world where they call human being Beto. Beto, Gbeto. Beto is human being, but it also means master of speech. The master of speech is the one who chooses, as Olodumare chose and brought all things into existence. All of those motifs and patterns, the originals, belong to the mind of Olodumare, so to speak. So, for example, we know that in my Odu, Irosun Ose, Ifa tells us of the time when there were 1,700 Irumale. 1,700. That's the largest number I have ever seen referenced in a verse. Irosun Ose tells us of the time there were 1,700 Irumale. And these 1,700 Irumale were created by Olodumare. And Olodumare had empowered them to govern the universe, to govern the cosmos. They were so efficient at it. They were running things so smoothly. They came up with the idea, we don't need Olodumare. Not only that, they went to Olodumare as such and said, we have it under control. We don't need you. Olodumare said, are you sure? They said, we're sure. We got it. Olodumare says, fine, then I'll withdraw. Olodumare withdrew his ashe from the cosmos. And what happened? Everything came to a halt. The divinities tried this, they tried that. They did everything that they knew how to do to try to rekindle the flame of existence. Nothing worked. Finally, they realized we're in over our head. If we don't go back to Olodumare, this is never going to flow again. They went back and they said, Baba, we're sorry. Please forgive us. We overstated our capacity. Olodumare said, yes, I am the source of existence. I just empowered you to maintain what I started. So from that on, the divinities paid homage to Olodumare. They work at the behest of Olodumare. The Orisha are here to do what Olodumare has commissioned them to do, which is uphold and maintain the creation. This is a pivotal lesson because the creation, Da is to create. Eda is the creator. Eleda is actually the creator. Eda is one's own. It's a synonymous with Ori. Eda means my Ori. My Ori is what creates my existence. Okay? But the same Ori that creates me also creates Shango. The same Ori that creates me creates Obatala, creates Okun, creates Yo Ashun, Yemoja, Olokun, etc. When all of the divinities were in the heavenly realm, Ofunyurete tells us, all the deities were in the heavenly realm and they wanted to manifest the heavenly reality on the earthly plane. They needed a leader to do that. They went to Olodumare. Olodumare says, put your head down first thing in the morning and pay homage to me, your creator, your Eleda. All the deities, because they had these powers that they were using to manage and govern and manifest the universe, they had fire, they had wind, they had motion, they had strength, they had all these different abilities. They thought that just waking up in the morning and putting my head down is nothing. Again, they overstated their capacity. They had a big party. This one each had their different parties in their camps. The morning came, they overslept. Only Ori awakened. And so when they went before Olodumare and they were given the Obi Alashe, the colonel of authority, Ogun tried and failed. Shango tried and failed. Obatala tried and failed. Oshun tried and failed. Oromila tried and failed. Olokun tried and failed. Every divinity tried and failed to open the colonel of authority. It was only Ori who could open the colonel of authority. What happened? Ori was appointed as the leader, as the head of the divinities who would bring the heavenly reality to the earthly reality. But the deities were thinking about their power and they're thinking how simple Ori is. How could Ori be the leader? They defied Ori one by one. Ogun defied Ori. Shango defied Ori. Obatala defied Ori. Oshun defied Ori. Oromila defied Ori. Olokun defied Ori. And one by one, Ori defeated the divinities in the heavenly realm. Ori sent each of the divinities to the earthly realm at a certain set of coordinates. He sent Shango to Koso. He gave Shango the Bata and made him the lord of drum and dance. He sent Oromila to Oketashi and made him the lord of divination. Oshun, Ogun, one by one, Ori defeated them in heaven, sent them to their coordinates on earth, and assigned them their natural gifts and talents for which they're known today. All of these demonstrate for us how, number one, Ori is a container of some of the motifs and patterns, the archetypes of creation, and the full body, the full complete library or encyclopedia of original motifs, of creative impulses. All of that belongs in the mind of Olodumare, so to speak. Okay? The reason why I'm saying this is because when you understand what your Ori truly is, you'll understand that that constellation of creative impulses, those archetypes that are within your Ori, are the ones that the Orisha is supporting. There is a particular constellation of archetypes that are not Orisha. There are principles of creation. There's a particular constellation within each and every individual consciousness. Every individual has their own combination. That is what you need to discover. That's the I. That's the one that's choosing. And that one that's choosing is the one that the Orisha is supporting. That's why in Nigeria, for example, you have one Orisha. It's a family Orisha. You're born into that. By default, you belong to Oshun. You belong to Ogun. Whatever your lineage is, that's yours by birth. What you're really trying to understand is your Ori. How does Oshun support my identity? How does Oshun help to reinforce and empower and enable my identity? If I'm trying to be Oshun, if I'm trying to be Ogun, I've lost. It's impossible for me to be Oshun. Imitating her to the nth degree is not going to make the difference. Pretending to be Shango is not going to make me Shango. It's not going to make me successful. It's not going to bring me happiness and fulfillment. The only thing that's going to gratify me, the only thing that's going to free me, the only thing that's going to optimize me and let me make the most meaningful and significant contribution is by being true to myself. And that's not something that somebody's going to just tell you. You've got to discover it over and over and over and over and over and over and over under all kinds of conditions, under all kinds of circumstances. You got to keep making choices that reinforce who you are, And little by little, as you reflect, you get a better sense of what's going to work, what's not going to work. Orisha is going to help you and support you in that process. Oromila is going to outline the parameters, where, the lines, color within the lines. Don't go outside of this or that. But what you're really trying to do is activate what's inside you, what brought you to the world. Okay? So leadership is always personal. When you solve your personal problem, then you end up solving the problem for millions of other people, thousands of other people, tens of other people. All right? And this is essential for the folks who are ready, willing, and able to use their natural gifts and talents, to use their positive influence to help bring about the good condition for themselves and those who they are destined to serve. If you're one of those people, then I want you to find out how Oloye Obafemi Origunwa and the Orisha Lifestyle Academy can help you live the medicine that will heal your life and heal the lives of those who you're destined to serve. Visit me at obafemio.com or orishalifestyle.com, and let's do this. Let's crack the code. Let's elevate your practice. Let's elevate your life. Let's solve some real problems for real people. I look forward to working with you. Bye for now. Or double.